Well. As if the prophecy has been foretold from Ian in his interview a couple weeks back, we now have targeted corruptions and faster cloak empowerments in a blue post that has been posted today, which is May 18th of 2020. This is going to be actually pretty interesting. There's been a lot of interesting takes on how they feel about how this is going to work, but I want to give mine. I kind of wanted to go through with what was changing, just so you guys know, and create more of an informational video. I enjoy doing these, so I'm going to continue to do these moving forward. I always do them for Mythic Plus, also do them for more metagame stuff. Alrighty, so let's just read the post through and through. We're working on an update to the game that we expect to be rolling out in the coming week to plan to make improvements on the process of obtaining corruption items at for max level characters, and also streamlining upgrading the legendary cloak. Great things. These are great changes. Like, just in theory, this is really good things that they're saying. Our goal with this update is to speed up the power progression of new level 120 characters while giving established in-game players more agency to pursue the corruption effects they most desire. Again, great idea. A lot of complaints about this expansion came through just what it takes to be able to play an alt. So the pseudo account-wide essences came through. In addition to that, giving established in-game players more agency in pursuing the corruption effects they most desire. Great idea. First and foremost, more echoes. Meaning that the echoes of Ny'alotha are going to be the currency, is what this is basically saying. In our last update, we added Echoes of Ny'alotha, a new currency available from Visions of N'Zoth content, which can be used to directly purchase rank 3 essences that have already been unlocked on a different character. We plan to expand the availability and purpose of this new currency. Now, once any character completes the Legendary Cloak questline, they will immediately begin to earn Echoes of Ny'alotha from all the usual sources. Again, this is where I see a major major pushback from a lot of people, is that so my character personally, I had all of the essences on my character before the patch, so my character didn't have any Echoes of Ny'alotha to even gain. So now I am starting at 0 Echoes of Ny'alotha, where some people have 30,000. Echoes of Ny'alotha will be much more abundant than before, so this is their attempt to counteract that, as well as the usefulness of Echoes of Ny'alotha. We want to ensure that players who haven't felt the need to accumulate them don't feel disadvantaged, so we will be increasing both the drop rates of Echoes and their cost by a factor of 5. This means that when these changes take effect, a major assault will now award 625 Echoes, up from 125. The cost to purchase an essence will also increase by the same factor, from 500 to 2500 Echoes. So they're basically trying to do the Titan Residuum diminishing returns-esque thing, where it's like, your stuff isn't worth 0, it's worth way less. If you're planning on purchasing a rank 3 essence with Echoes of Ny'alotha that you've already earned, you should do so now before these costs change. Again, 100%, if you're planning on purchasing a rank 3 essence with Echoes of Ny'alotha, do that now, do that now, do that now. Improving the Legendary Cloak. We're also reducing the requirements for any quest step in upgrading the cloak from ranks 1 to 15 that previously required multiple Horrific Visions. Each rank can now be achieved in a single Horrific Vision. Pog. For example, upgrading your rank 13 cloak to rank 14 will now require 2 torn pages of the Final Truth, where it previously was 6. If you're currently in possession of 2 more pages, you will turn them in and immediately complete that quest. The following quest to upgrade from rank 14 to 15 will then require that you get 2 more new torn pages, was previously 8. Great change. That allows you to be able to just get your cloak power up your cloak as quickly as possible. This is fantastic for alts. Alts were starting to get pretty far behind sometimes in terms of how much corruption resistance they were getting. Allowing them to get back in the game pretty quickly here is going to be okay. The requirements for further minor upgrades to the cloak after rank 15 with Malefic Cores has not been changed. Basically, if you were behind, you can get 2 Malefic Cores a week, whereas if you were caught up in current content, you can only get 1. Mother will also offer Vessels of Horrific Visions in exchange for Echoes of Ny'alotha, providing an additional source of access to Horrific Visions that does not require completions of the assaults. I think that's good for I think it's good for players that have just started a brand new character. That it will be useful sometimes. choosing your corruption. In addition to any unlocked essences, Mother will now offer several new preserved containments, which allow for a specific corruption effect and the associated corruption penalty to be applied to the selected item. The inventory of the available preserved containments will change twice a week, mirroring the assault cadence, and will cycle through all available corruption effects at various levels of potency. So, for those who don't understand what that means, basically, Mother will contain, just like, okay, so look at this. Look at this sample right here. This is basically what a sample is. So Mother will contain all of these things, and she'll always have the vessel. So you'll be able to purchase rank 3 essences, and then you'll be able to obtain certain things. Those certain things rotate twice a week, like basically whenever the salt changes over. So you're going to be able to get like rank 1 Twilight Dev one week. You'll be able to get rank 3 Twilight Dev another week. There's going to be some RNG elements to this, especially for some classes, like getting your better corruption earlier on is going to be a little bit more potent than getting it later on. But in reality, just as long as it cycles through quick enough, you should be able to get it without too much hassle. Important notes: we highly suggest that you purchase any rank 3 essence you want and can afford as soon as possible due to a technical limitation. Note this, note this, note this. Due to a technical limitation, items that have been cleansed cannot be recorrupted. We are looking into whether it will be possible to fix this, but we don't want to hold up the whole system in the meantime. This is how it is on the TR, the Tournament Realm currently. For the MDI, they basically can't they can't cleanse an item and then recorrupt it. So that's a thing. All the previous ways that corrupted items and vessels can be acquired are still in place. The changes above are meant to supplement those sources and provide you with more options and help pursuing your goals. Alrighty, so let's talk about some things that are important with this. Mythic Plus and PvP are now worth significantly less than Mythic Raid, especially for item level sourced stuff such as like Infinite Stars and Gushing Wound and Twisted Appendage. Basically, like now the 475 items, especially since you can't cleanse previous 475 items you got, are worth way more. And the 485 items for N'Zoth and Carapace and N'Zoth are worth even more now too. So having those at a base without a corruption on them is important. So those are some things that I've seen people have some problems with, is that now Mythic Plus and Raid gearing are way less valuable, or Mythic Plus and PvP gearing are way less valuable, and you basically need to Raid to have what is effectively the best gear. In addition to that, I've also seen a lot of people complain about the currency. Just some people having 30,000 Echoes of Ny'alotha already, whereas some people, like myself, have 0. It's going to feel pretty bad for the first couple of weeks, but I suspect that you're going to be able to catch up fairly quickly just with that 5x multiplier. In addition to that, now you're really going to be wanting to do a lot more Horrific Visions, especially if you've been kind of slacking on those, to be able to bank up a bunch of Echoes of Ny'alotha to purchase that currency. Horrific Visions are probably the easiest source of Echoes of Ny'alotha that you can come across. Like maybe 2's wins if you're winning every game are a little bit quicker, but beyond that, I feel like Horrific Visions have to be some of the best sources, the best time cost for just like how much time you're spending getting those. So those are some of the things, those are some of the reasons that people have had problems. If you want my personal opinion, I think it'll all be fine. I think it will be a little bit weird for the first couple, like maybe for the first week it'll be a little bit weird, especially for those who have a head start. But it is vendor-based, and you have to wait for the vendor to get your correct stuff. You're going to be able to bank up these Echoes of Ny'alotha fairly quickly, so I think it should be fine. I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to look forward to gearing my Hunter very quickly, gearing my Demon Hunter very quickly, and then getting basically what is best in slot on my Moonkin. Those are always going to be super fun things, and I'm looking forward to being able to play multiple characters with a significantly reduced time frame due to all of these changes. It's not only the being able to purchase corruption, that is probably the biggest one, but also the cape changes are important as well. Beyond that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.